my beautiful Libra friends, and welcome to your horoscope for August of 2021. We're Libra, honey. This month, Venus returns home, and that always brings a magnetism when not only is Venus comfortable in one of the ruling signs, but when it comes home to your first house, to you, there is this magnetism, there is this glory, this abundance, deliciousness that becomes available to you. Not to mention, it makes you magnetic and sparkly and attractive to the world and its people, places, and things. So Libra, I am very, very excited for you. Now, we are also experiencing the energy this month where you're right before birthday time, okay? So the 12th house is lit up. It is a time for reflection. There is a slowdown, things happening in private, in vulnerability, in secret, things that have to do with your spiritual health that will carry you through this next solar year that you're going to get. So it's actually a really lovely month. You're in preparation for birthday time. You got Venus coming back home. There's a lot of good that is happening. Now, I will tell you, Libra, I think it is still equally important that you do watch the weekly horoscope, so that you can see the transiting energy that's up in the sky. So you know when to pivot, when to move, when to kind of hold back on some things, and when to really leap it forward. So make sure you check that out. I'll make sure there's a card around here somewhere you can click right to that video, okay? As well, we've got retrograde Uranus stepping into retrograde this month, which means that our outer and social planets are all going to be in retrograde this month, which means that the outside world is not moving as quickly. So you have a prime opportunity to really do some Libra, get some things set, make some decisions for yourself so that as the lights of the world come back on, you can really jump and take solid advantage of that. So I look forward to walking you through what's going on this month. So let's get in here so that you can get out and go enjoy your August. Right here at the beginning of the month, we've got a new moon happening at 16 degrees of Leo energy, which is lighting up your 11th house space. Now, at the new moon, we are planting our seeds of intention. What do you want to begin here? What newness do you want to bring into your reality with this particular energy? Remember, we plant our seeds of intention in the soil of magic because it's dark, but what you plant here, for good or for ill, you're going to work on for about 4 weeks at a minimum, okay? So in the area of your 11th house, this is the space of friends, social grouping, social media, long-range plans, goals, designs, your aspirations, they live here for you. So having a nice, lovely new moon, you know, do you feel like you're with your tribe? I love this question in the 11th house. This is the tribe house. This is the friends, the support group you've got, where you feel aligned and you feel a part of. Do you feel like you're tribed up right now, Libra? And I will tell you too, I know that this is a full moon and we have a lot of beginning energy here. Some of the beginning that I think is available for you here, Libra, is the beginning of understanding who is not your tribe member, who does not belong in this space, maybe where you don't belong anymore. And that makes space for something else, because when you say no to something, you say yes to something else, and vice versa. And what we're looking to do here is to Leo. Let the 11th house space be big and bold and joyful. Are you having fun with your friends? Is this new moon bringing new friends into your table, new associations, new places, new tribes where you feel aligned? Now, this particular moon is also going to square to Uranus. So having that as an implication, the square does want us to do something. So I'm telling you that with Uranus bringing this surprising information or surprising change of events to the table, if there are people out there that maybe you've been feeling like you've been too afraid to connect with, or you've been afraid to put yourself out there, 8th house energy, this may be the time where you're like, forget it. I'm going out, I'm meeting my people, I'm meeting my tribe, I'm gonna connect, I'm gonna go have this event, I'm gonna have this adventure, I'm gonna tell that person I like them, whatever it is. Uranus will give you that zap of energy to maybe be able to do it, to go take a surprising action. Now, Uranus can also just bring surprising change of events to the table, and it could very much so have to do with your social groupings. I will tell you that Uranus at this point of the square with this particular moon, Uranus is slowed down because he's getting ready to retrograde. So likely something that you're seeing has already been on your table before. And as the surprising event comes in, pivot, change, shift. If you get invited to a different social experience, if you haven't been out of the house looking, feeling your best, being all the Leo that you're able to be, say yes. Say yes. Go have a different experience. It doesn't have to be terrible, okay? All right, as we move on through the month, we get to the 11th and we see Mercury enter into the energy of Virgo. Now, this puts Mercury in home court territory. He rules Virgo energy, also rules this Gemini energy. So opportunities for advancement and expansion are available to you, but more so than anything, as Mercury comes to your space of privacy, I think it brings your mind a bit inwards, or it brings your mind, Libra, to things that you need to prioritize transitioning out of your world. 12th house transition, right? It could bring things to your attention that you're ready to bring to culmination. Absolutely, you could hear from somebody from your past. I think that that is an absolute situation that could be happening. We do still have Venus and Mars vibrating here, so it could be something romantically you're attached to. I also think of whenever we get into the 12th house space, Mercury in a 12th house space is phenomenal for prioritizing breathing, meditation, bringing the mind and the body and that heart into some kind of alignment so that you are shipshape and good to go. Because what Virgo wants is health, wellness, things to be the very best that they can be. Now, where you may also be called to bring that into alignment is maybe you are living your best life. You are aligned, you are strong, and maybe someone in your life, you are called to be of service and to help to them because you figured out a way out. You figured out how to have some calm. You figured out your creative gifts, and someone could be popping up into your space and you're able to share and help them make these transitions for themselves as well. So please let me know in the comment section down below how this does manifest for you. I'm very excited to see, Libra, what is brought to your table, okay? Now, as we get to the 16th, we're going to see Venus move down into that Libra space. Venus is going to be here all the way until September. We've got delicious energy for you to play with. It's magnetic. You are vibrating at the level of gorgeous, Libra. So use this attracting energy to attract. Libra, you don't have to go out and work very hard. Allow Venus to attract things into you. What do you want? What are you calling into you? Venus is going to work as an attraction magnet. Now, yes, because there's be attraction for romance, for money, absolutely. But what you want and what you are seeking is seeking you as well. And all you got to do is have a chat with Venus and say, Venus, this is where we're going, and allow Venus to attract that energy into you. Now, I will say, because this is the first house, Libra, if you've been having conflict with yourself, with your body, with your image, with your identity, Venus is going to bring some salve to soothe, to try and balance this area out, to remind you of who you are, to remind you that maybe who you are today is not who you were before, and that is all right, right? Venus is going to act as a healing salve over this. And if you've had challenges in your relationships, Venus brings the maximum harmonizing energy for you to be able to bridge that gap in your relationship. So you're magnetic, you're a bit foxy. I say take yourself out there, take your products out there, allow your external environments to definitely be seen, okay? When we get to the 19th, we see Uranus taking this retrograde in the energy of Taurus, who is a fellow energy ruled by Venus. So what we know and what we see here is that the Venus vibration is kind of going like this right now. That Taurus energy for you has been shaken, not stirred, right? In the areas where you've been fixed, you've had fixed ideas, you've had fixed beliefs about relationships, money, your self-worth, all of these things. Uranus, as it came into Taurus, really let you see what ideas, actions, and attitudes that you had were really destructive and keeping you from personal freedom in this area. Debt, And debt is not just money, but debt, you know, are you in sexual debt, right? When is the last time you were at peace with your sexuality, with your body, with that fire that burns down below? You know, do you feel like you're in debt with maybe your healing, your counseling? Do you feel like you're in debt with your astrology? When's the last time you picked up that chart and let these planets speak to you, right? Wherever there is this joint connection, Uranus has been shaking you to see what needs to happen for you to individuate and to be free, have the most freedom that this energy is available to have, because there's gems and jewels that have been unearthed for you. Now, as Uranus is retrograde, it's almost like he's like, okay, assimilate, integrate, see all of these things we've dug up. Let's chew on this for a minute. Let's understand what happened. So you have this wonderful opportunity to look back over the things in your 8th house area: intimacy, vulnerability, sex, your reproductive organs, your healing, counseling, traumas, astrology, all of these things. Ooh, finance, right? It's giving you an opportunity to go back over this area and make sure that your behaviors are coming along, that you're coming on par to having them be more healthy so that you can be free in this particular area. Okay, so you'll have 14 degrees of Uranus to be paying attention to, or 14 degrees of any of the other fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Okay. On the 22nd, we've got a full moon happening at 29 degrees of Aquarius. And this is important because in July, we had a full moon at 1 degree of Aquarius. So this area has already been lit up. It's already been stimulated. Now we've got this other full moon at the end of that particular sign's energy, and it's vibrating. It's 29 degrees. This is a significant degree. So at this particular point, the full moon, Libra, is saying something needs to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted, okay? And this is something that's happening in your 5th house area. So I would tell you, one of the first conceptions I have is, again, brings us back to that new moon at the beginning of the month. Do your friendships, do your tribes, does your experience with social media, does your long-range plan have joy involved? And does it have joyful friendships, joyful associations connected to that? Because if you are not tribed up in the right way, if you are not tribed up in a way that makes you feel loved and supported, the growth factor seems really, really hard. You're a natural partnership kind of energy. So it needs to be relation that is on par at the full moon, because we end, acknowledge, or adjust. If there are changes that need to be made in this particular arena, especially based around your associations or your social medias, I think that a lot of those changes will show up at this particular time. Another thing that I think is important about the 5th house is because it's such a joy house, a house of pleasure, it's a full moon. Some of you could be having those babies and bringing that level of pleasure and joy into your life. The 5th house is the house of children, right? So, you know, maybe you're being released from summer break energy and everybody's going back to school. That could definitely be an emotional rearrangement that is happening from there. And for some of you, your babies are your projects, are your work, is this creative thing that you have to put out into the world and to express. So at the full moon, if you have to end it, acknowledge it, or adjust it in the state that it's currently in and allow it to be something else. What is the something else? The sun in Leo in the 11th house. Let it be public. Don't hide that anymore. Bring it on out here, right? So it could be something like that that definitely shows up. Also on the same day, though, later in the day, we're going to see the sun get out of that 11th house energy, get out of that opposition, and move into the energy of Virgo in your 12th house, bringing light, heat, life, and vitality to this 12th house space. So it's vibrating in a place that's quiet. You're working on things behind the scene. You're incubating, getting ready for birthday time. You're allowing yourself, if you need to have some downtime to respite, to rejuvenate, to recoil if you need to, and do what you need to recharge yourself. This is the charging station, Leo, or Libra, excuse me. This is also the energy, I think, with the sun in Virgo, where you're motivated to prioritize your peace. You're motivated to prioritize your wellness. You are motivated to prioritize which of your secrets and skeletons you don't need to take forward anymore, and definitely to prioritize some kind of spiritual practice, whether that be that you are gathering and sharing spiritual content, you're reflecting, whatever you're doing in private that allows this to be treated, right? Allows the spiritual portion to be treated, I think very much so shows up at this particular time, okay? Now, as we're going to close out this month, we see Mercury dropping down into the energy of Libra as well. And this means that conversation gets busy. Mercury busies the areas that it steps into. So you could be having lots of conversations in relationships for absolutely sure. Mercury is really business savvy. So this could be conversations where Libra, you're entering into creative decisions or creative relationships. Maybe that is what's on your table at this particular time. Now, we're going to have Mercury in Libra from quite some time because we are going to have some retrograde happening here as well. So this is also a phenomenal indicator that something, some decision you're making, some contract you'll sign, some conversation you're going to have right now, Libra, you're going to look back over this. So you're maybe at the start of it. Think of this as the beginning of this decision. Even if it's been on the table for a while, something you're thinking about, speaking about, communicating about, this is like a beginning. We'll relook at that and we'll play with this mercurial energy in Libra all the way until November, okay? So this is the jumping off point to start negotiations. All right, my beautiful Libra friends, I hope you have a beautiful before birthday time kind of month. I hope that every day of this month is something that you feel like you can dig into with your astrology. Let the energies and your intuition guide you and move you into what is your greatest good. As always, please make sure that you are also looking at these energies against your own chart. If you don't have one, go to astro.com, get one for free. Go to whichever astrologer you are working with and make sure you have your own chart so that you can see the nuance of what's for you, okay? All right, my beautiful friends, I love you, and I'll see you next month. Bye.